This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick. How is it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good, John. How about you?
Great. Have you seen anything new lately?
Well, I still haven't seen. I never did get around to seeing Amazing Spider-Man, which is I don't know. It's inappropriate considering what I do these days. But
Well, just as if you haven't seen it, I haven't read really any reviews on it. What are the reviews, real quick? I mean, can you give us that?
it's like, if I remember correctly, it's at 73% positive at Rotten Tomatoes. So they're saying it was good, but like I just could never mess up the get past the fact that hey, we already had like a pretty good trilogy from Sam Raimi, just back capped off in 2007, and so it was just to reboot things so fast, just I never really got past
Yeah,
that
we're not
hump right there.
we're not talking about Star Trek here, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but the reason I bring up Spider-Man is because Spider is a Spidey topic of tonight's podcast.
Hmm. Ooh.
Yeah, because after like many months of waiting, it's like I finally got the first softcover collection of Brian Michael Bendis' new Ultimate Spider-Man series. One introducing us to it's like half African American, half Hispanic Spider Miles Morales. Now, I figured that like, hey, as soon as this came out, this would be a great opportunity to do a podcast, just do a nice real retrospective on Bendis' run, and the title in general. Because the thing is about like when Ultimate Spider-Man debuted back in the day, I mean, like, everyone thought that this is going to be a terrible idea. You get this writer who's only done like indie stuff, and we're gonna do like a whole new continuity for Spider-Man. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. Well, the thing was, it's like like Marvel is casting about for like all sorts of like things to get Spider-Man out of his creative funk, so to speak. And so like they figured, hey, we're gonna toss this stuff to Bendis and see what he can do. It's like hey. It's like, check, if it's good, it's like, hey, we got ourselves a new cash cow. If not, people forget it in 12 months. Well, the thing was, like, it wasn't good. It was great. The idea of taking Spider-Man out, taking Spider-Man out and just like acting as if the series had been launched in the modern day turned out to be like a breath of fresh air for the character and led to some of the best like Spider-Man stories in recent memory, to the point where I've always maintained on the blog before that this is the one Spider-Man title that you need to read. I mean, like, yes, like there's been plenty of good stuff, especially from Dan Slott, like over the years with the regular like Amazing Spider-Man title, but Ultimate Spider-Man has benefited to no end from the solid creative team of being a book with a singular vision from one writer, Brian Michael Bendis, and just being like relatively left alone for him to just do whatever the hell he wants for a long time. And it also benefited from having one of the most stable creative teams in comics. Like originally, like, the series went for 110 issues with Bendis and artist Mark Bagley, and like Bagley is like one of the fastest artists in comics. He managed to put out about 18 issues of the series a year at his peak. So. But the thing is, and Bagley was good too. I mean, it's like he does. It's like he may not have like the most inventive visual style, but he's got consistency. He's got expressive work. He's great with the action. It's like, I mean, it's like, I would like, based on all the volumes that he did with Bendis, it's like. I wouldn't trade them for anything. And he was also replaced by Stuart Monin afterward, which, like, for the 4 volumes that he did, I mean, I love Monin to death, and like seeing him on this title was fan fucking tastic. Then we got things that like a little more consistent with David LaFuente, who is a good artist, but the guy can't really he's not really one for the monthly schedule, and things have since deteriorated to the point where you get a lot of good work, but you don't have that like artistic consistency that it used to have. So it makes you pine for the days of Bagley and Monin. And I'm sure that the series will continue to have good artists like this first volume with Sarah Pichelli, but I'm getting ahead of myself because in preparation for this, I went back and reread and started rereading through all the old Ultimate Spider-Man volumes. I couldn't get through all of them. I got up to around volume 14, but and I was amazed about like how well this stuff holds up. I mean, it's like it's good, solid superhero fun, but Ben does like a great job of bringing the characters to life. Like I'm making Peter like a relatable, real character with real genuine concerns. I mean, and also just like making him act like a believable teenager as well. Just like like the drama he goes through with his relationship with Mary Jane feels believable. I mean, like at one point, they go through typical the breakup, like no, not just one breakup, but two breakups. Like first time when Mary Jane realizes, no, I can't deal with this. You know, it's like I was almost thrown off the bridge by Norman Osborn, and I don't know how I can deal with this anymore. She breaks up with him, but eventually they realize that we really do love each other, and like we still want to get together. And the second time is when Peter breaks up with her because he realizes she's just going to keep getting involved with what I do. I have to completely break ties with her in order to make sure that she actually stays alive. I mean, it's heartbreaking because these two are like meant to be together, but this is like the whole Spider-Man thing is really the thing that's keeping them apart. I mean, Peter then goes on to hook up with Kitty Pryde, which is all more impressive because it actually makes, because even though like we know that he's meant to be with like Mary Jane, the relationship with Kitty does feel really like heartfelt and believable. It's like hey, he's actually dealing with someone who's in this, so to speak, who's in the same line of work as him, so to speak. But even when they do have to like inevitably break up, as they will, you still feel bad for her. It's that's impressive as well. But the thing is, like with Bendis's run, it's like he does a good job of doing a lot of streamlining of the mythos and like creating nice modern takes on these characters. Bendis also has some interesting recurring themes throughout the series as well. First of all, just like being like, because like a lot of just about all the villains here are created through some form of genetic manipulation. And one of the things that keeps coming back to haunt the characters is the fact that it's like every time someone does this, I mean, like we wind up getting some sort of super villain or some sort of genetic war. So you kept kind of wondering when are we going to realize that the whole do not disturb sign that God has placed on a man's genetic structure as well. I mean, it's amusing that they point this out, and we still get crazy ass shit like Norman Osborn, it's like Electro, Kraven the Hunter, it's like and Sandman. It's like Bendis, one of the other things that Bendis has really hits hard in this series, just like the fact that people just like why don't people act like like they want to be better people? Like why do they just like suddenly descend to just taking the easy way out, just like trying to grab for stuff that they don't deserve, and like not try to make the world a better place. It's on one hand, it's like it is appropriate that he's pitching this kind of thought with a teenager, because that's a very teenagers type worldview, but it's also one that's relevant to the world we live in today. In fact, it's also Bendis is just taking a more mature reader's approach to it in Scarlet, which I really love, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it eventually once it finally fucking comes out and Bendis makes the time for it. But we'll see whether or not that happens eventually, because Powers is on indefinite hiatus, for lack of a better term, and he's also got his all ages series Takio with Michael Avon Oming, and Marvel says, hey, that we're still soliciting that because it should still be coming out, but we'll see how long it lasts. Bendis is meant to be scaling back his company owned commitments with Marvel like after November, when he exits the Avengers titles. He'll still be writing. He's slated to write a new Guardians of the Galaxy series, and he'll also be doing the all new X-Men series, which I talked about in my Marvel previews picks. Which like I said, it's got a great idea for a mini series, but for an ongoing series, oh boy! I'm sure he's smart enough to realize that, but we shall see. Still, though, it's going back and rereading through all this stuff. I mean, it's like it does, like I said, it holds together very well. It's like and even though it's like all the stories are kind of like like 5 or 6 like last 5 or 6 issues at a time, as is Bendis' style. They like reading them in trade paperback form. They still feel like a good. You never feel cheated. Like there's like always a good chunk of story right here. And there's always like it's always nice to appreciate all the like the twists he puts. It's like he puts on to the ultimate versions of characters, like turning Craven into a reality TV star. Making Osborn like crazily obsessed with Peter, thinking that he's basically represent his own like his life's work, and basically regards him as more of a son than his own son Harry, who becomes like the Hobgoblin, and seeing him like turn into this genetic monstrosity, but not actually being a monster, just like Harry just like realizes what he's becoming, just like as like he's lashing out at New York City, just asking, just like Peter will finally put him down and kill him in order to get him to stop being what he's become. It's tragic stuff. It's like and really heartfelt too. The only real flaw it's like I see to Bendis's run is the fact that it's like at this point you get the feeling that he doesn't really have like a particular Spider-Man story to tell with this take on with this Ultimate Universe. It's like he's just like going at it to keep this going as long as he possibly can. And at this point, what allows him to do that is the fact that the series was amazingly successful at first, and so it's got a hardcore audience who will come back to who will keep reading it, such as yours truly. But even if it's like the sales they haven't been able to sustain the sales as well as they have. Now, I will concede that there are some parts through what I've reread that hint at the fact that Peter is going to die. So the fact that he does die, and this isn't a spoiler warning, the fact that the last volume of Volume 4 of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man is called The Death of Spider-Man. Like, yeah, he dies, but it's still like I still don't take back what I said, that it still feels really abrupt. And that they're saying, okay, yeah, Spider-Man has to die, so we can just do the latest relaunch. But there are some parts here that hint that that even if this wasn't planned, Bendis had an idea, like how this may end. So, but all this leads us to Miles Morales, who is a rarity in himself, being a younger minority character in a leading. In a starring role in a Marvel or DC superhero title. Now, the thing is, it's like I read this first volume. I really enjoyed it. There's a freshness to it that does recall the original launch of Ultimate Peter Parker. But then there's also some nice twists that Bendis puts on the spin of his origin here, because it's like, well, we know that Peter Parker grew up in the care of his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Miles is actually growing up with his birth parents, and we're introduced to him as he's waiting for a spot in a charter school in New York. So you get the sense that he's not that he's still got kind of that hard luck underdog appeal to him. But also the interesting thing is that his uncle. His uncle Aaron isn't meant to be the best kind of influence in the world, because he's actually a burglar. He's also basically the ultimate version of the Prowler from the regular universe. And there's a nice little dichotomy set up. There's a nice little tension set up right there. I mean, aside from putting aside the fact that Spider-Man's Uncle Ben was the guiding influence in his life. And here you've got a Spider-Man with all of his family intact. It's like, but the thing is, even though it's Miles' dad regards his brother as like a bad influence, and he doesn't want his son hanging around him. We also find out that his dad doesn't really think too much about superheroes in general. Thinks why can't they just all pack up and leave us to be alone? So you get the sense that hey, that Miles can't go to his dad about this biggest change in his life, but that he may wind up going to his uncle, who may have some sort of insight about this. And it's like, and and after that, and like I said, that's a good setup right there. The thing that I don't quite appreciate with this, um, with Miles, is that while he's set up as a nice, quiet younger kid who's not like doesn't really want powers. He's living his life was tough enough as it is. He doesn't need this stuff complicating it. So when he gets that spider bite that gives him spider powers, he says, "No, I don't want to do this. So I'm gonna go try to live a normal life, be as normal as possible." Then Peter dies, and Miles thinks, "Well, could I have been there? Could I have saved him?" And his buddy, like nerdy Lego enthusiast Gonk, thinks that, hey, you could have done that, but you could have also died at the same time as well. And also, hey, maybe this means that you are now the Spider-Man on deck. That now it's your turn to go out and be the Spider-Man that New York needs. Now, the catch is though is that as soon as Miles puts on the cheapo Halloween spider costume that his buddy digs up, he almost immediately turns into like Peter Parker again, because you've got the wisecracking inner monologue, the taunts to the villains. And it's kind of like this. It just feels kind of jarring with this with what we've seen of the characters before. I mean, yes, Miles acknowledges this in this. It's said, wait, when did I start getting an inner monologue? But it still feels kind of like like jarring with what we've established of the character so far. So it's like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's like I can understand Bendis wants realizes this is part of the Spider-Man formula. Like this is the wisecracks and self-deprecatory inner monologue kind of so it makes the character. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't quite jar with the character himself. I mean, we do get a decent story when he meets up with Spider-Woman and Nick Fury and helps take down Electro, and he gets that one chance to be Spider-Man now. And so even with that, it's like I'm willing to keep following in order to see if things start to gel a bit more. I mean, I can understand that maybe Bendis does just want to have Spider-Man when he's in costume just be this one thing, but maybe we'll see how it gels, and I am looking forward to seeing how he explores Miles' family life. Now that he's a superhero, and the series does feature some great art from Sarah Pichelli for these issues. She's got a nice, it's like a nice appealing clean style, but I'm looking at this and thinking as nice as this is. We're not going to see any more of it after this volume, at least until the Spider-Men crossover when the regular universe Peter Parker meets up with Miles, and I just think that it's like that's kind of like the beginning of the end for the Marvel universe, because mark my words, at some point, maybe a couple of years from now, the Ultimate Universe is just going to completely implode, and Marvel Universe is just going to absorb all the worthwhile parts from the Ultimate Universe. My money's on Miles being one of those things. So, and I look forward to seeing how the series develops. Now, as far as Bendis' run goes, you can buy the series in nice. It's like a nice 2-volume collect editions, much like John has.
Yay!
Yeah. So. And
no, I really do like those volumes. I really do. They're awesome.
Yeah, just want to put you on the spot right there.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, even though it's I seem to remember Marvel putting out some sort of omnibus editions of these things. Kind of this is a series that was much as The Walking Dead has their compendium editions. Bendis' run is a series that would greatly benefit from those. Nice big compendiums that collect the Bagley run, 2 or 3 volumes, or the Amonin run in just one. So it's good. So it's good stuff. And if you like I said, if you're a Spider-Man fan, like I said, this series has been the one series that you can appreciate without having to worry about any clutter from the regular universe, or 40 odd years of continuity. Yes, Ultimate Spider-Man is kind of getting long in its tooth, but still it's been a thoroughly enjoyable run, and even though it's I've I'm doing this podcast, I may just go back and keep reading all of the like keep reading through some more of these volumes. I still want to get to the end of the Bagley run, like before I go back to like rereading more stuff for this podcast.
Wow. Yeah. Gosh, but there's just so many questions about like this kid. I guess the only way I'm going to be able to find out is if I read the novel.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I mean, like you get the basis of personality. Like, let's say his personality was established enough. Couple issues where I actually started having issues when Bendis started adding more stuff to it. So I guess that's kind of a compliment that at how well Bendis established his personality. That I'm already having issues with it.
Yeah, the wisecracking Peter Parker has been, such a part of the series for a lot of people. But to have that same kind of a thing, maybe it's the spiders that are doing it.
Still, yeah, it's a genetic thing. It's like so if you get bitten, they turn into like wisecracking self-deprecatory menches. Yeah, that's actually an interesting theory.
I hope it's not a real explanation, really. But anyway, yes. Now I'm actually a little intrigued. Yeah, you've revealed enough of it to me to make me want to go to Amazon and actually get a couple of issues and read it. Because I haven't finished the other one yet for some reason. It must be my dang busy schedule. Anyway, speaking of schedules, do you have anything planned for our next podcast?
Oh well, depending on when things are Amazon, I will say that people can look forward to podcast featuring Mark Wade's Irredeemable and Incorruptible. Also, John.
Yes, sir.
Start rereading Genshin because that's coming up on deck. The first volume of the second season is coming up on deck in the next couple weeks.
Oh, sweet, great! I'll look forward to contributing.
Yeah, they try, and I'll be thinking of something else in 2 weeks then.
All right. Well, with that, we'll call it a night, right?
Yes.
All right, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, take it easy.
All right. See you later.